Okay, so I said yesterday on the show with Colin on the Herd, weekdays noon to 3 on FS1 and Fox Sports Radio, that I'm going with the Bengals 27, Rams 24 tomorrow. I love the Rams story. I love how the Rams do business. I love all the stars. I love how aggressive they are. We don't need draft picks. We're going to go all in. Sean McVay is the whiz kid. He's incredible. But I got to ride with Joe Burrow. I have loved him from day one. I told the Dolphins, give up whatever we have to give up, 5 first-round picks, 10 first-round picks, and rename Ocean Drive after Joe Burrow if you have to. They did not listen. Not that the Bengals would have listened to the Dolphins anyway, but it would have been worth it. He's just incredible, and he's just clearly a winner, and I don't know if I'm going a little emotional here. I mean, look, Joe Burrow had an incredible season. I think he should have had some MVP votes. Comeback Player of the Year, Ja'Marr Chase, and the Cincinnati defense does not get enough credit for what they've done throughout the year, particularly in the playoffs. And so I'm riding with the Bengals. I think it's going to be a tight, competitive game. We've had great games. The wild card round was mostly blowouts. But since the divisional round, we've had nothing but great games. So I am not predicting a blowout. I think it's going to be very close and come down to the line. I'm going Bengals 27, Rams 24. Which obviously means I'm picking the Bengals to cover 4.5 or 4 now. It's down to 4. So if you got the hook there, congratulations. Which means I'm also taking the over in this game. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be back and forth. I know the big matchup that everyone is looking for and going to watch is this dominant, athletic Rams defensive line against the 20th ranked offensive line in the league. But to the Bengals' credit, we're constantly talking about the Bengals offensive line. They've done an incredible job this postseason and throughout the year. Obviously, the Titans game is what everyone's pointing to, and 9 sacks is not an incredible job. But they've held, and everyone's playing for Joe Burrow, and I'm going to lean into the energy of the Bengals in this postseason, and I'm going to go with the Bengals tomorrow. So that means my Super Bowl MVP pick is obviously Joe Burrow. There's a couple extra props that I like too. I think the first touchdown scored is going to be Cooper Kupp. I know, very edgy, Offensive Player of the Year, but that feels like a good first prop. And then first commercial, I'm going with Pepsi halftime show. Feels right. So those are my props for the game. I'm really looking forward to some particular matchups. Obviously, the Bengals offensive line and this dominant Rams defensive line. Joe Mixon is going to be something to watch. The Bengals really like to run the ball. If they can run the ball consistently, that's going to set up for Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase. Joe Burrow, who 25 years old, 4,611 yards and 34 touchdowns, bringing the Cincinnati Bengals to their first Super Bowl in 33 years. And Ja'Marr Chase, who is Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and just had an unbelievable season. Now, I know everyone is talking about Jalen Ramsey and that matchup with Ja'Marr Chase, but Bengals have been able to spread it around. So I think that is something else to pay attention to. Tomorrow, Matthew Stafford has been really impressive this postseason. I had a lot of questions about him with the turnovers towards the end of the season, but to his credit, he's been incredible. We won't be talking about his playoff record in Detroit anymore after this run, so paying attention to if he can keep up the level of play that he has had throughout this postseason, which I think he will, we're going to have a great game. So really, really, really looking forward to the Super Bowl tomorrow. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting matchup because there really is no villain in this game. We usually have someone that the public is rooting against, whether it's the Patriots or, the Patriots. That's usually who the public is rooting against. But we don't have one of those in this Super Bowl. So, obviously Rams fans and Bengals fans aside, publicly, everyone's going to feel great if Joe Burrow and the Bengals get a Super Bowl. It's an incredible story. I think it changes the conversation about young quarterbacks in the league and what you really need to win in this modern NFL. And then Matthew Stafford, coming from Detroit, 12 years with a struggling organization, a dysfunctional organization, coming out here to LA with a bunch of stars and winning a Super Bowl is an incredible story. So, we're always at each other's necks all the time about everything. So it's kind of nice to just have a nice treat of a game where there's not a whole lot of animosity. We're just looking forward to a great matchup and great football, which we've gotten all season long. Despite it being, kind of a frustrating season with COVID and some big time injuries, it's been fun. It's been a lot of parity, and I love the fact that we have the Cincinnati Bengals, a smaller market team, not even really the biggest football brands in Ohio, here in the Super Bowl, having built, a more conservative way through the draft, adding veterans, and then the LA Rams here in Los Angeles, fancy LA, the aggressive team, we don't need draft picks, building a completely different way, bringing in Matthew Stafford. I think it's great that the NFL can be represented in the Super Bowl with two completely different styles and two completely different organizations from, different parts of the country. So I think we're going to have a great game tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun for fans. And, of course, an amazing halftime show that everyone is looking forward to. And I think it's going to be an all-timer. I'm a halftime show nerd. I know everybody argues about the halftime show and who it should be and, how it's going to go. But I think tomorrow is going to be a great show at SoFi in Inglewood for everyone.